Rise up, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, kings and queens, friends, frenemies, and your agents. My name is Brother Marley, and this is the Senegambi One channel. I'd like to welcome you because today I was out and I was kind of struck by not so much the poverty of the place, but how people get along or get on with the poverty in place. I was watching a TV show the other day. It was based in London, and they were talking about how people have been struggling with austerity measures and how there's not so much help in the social sector anymore. People are struggling. There was one woman, she was saying that all she has is this cupboard of tinned food, and that's all she has, and she doesn't know if she's gonna make it. She's had to go a couple of days without breakfast and so on and so forth. And then I compare that to life over here, and how the way many people are living is what we would term as subsistence living. There's many buildings that have not been completed. It's like someone is living over somewhere in Europe or in America or something, and they're sending over money bit by bit, and buildings are slowly being built. And during that time, whilst these buildings are incomplete, people are squatting in these incomplete buildings. I saw one baby, and I mean, this baby could have been more than 2 years old. Tiny little baby, just running through the streets. And seeing children running around the streets, that's normal. That's nothing to be concerned about, because they don't have the same concerns around predators and so on and so forth, checking for children, that people have in the West. So you see children playing around, but this baby sort of ran and then ran into a building site, which scared me, because I was like, oh my God, that baby's gonna be destroyed. No, the baby's family was living in the building site. You see, many people over in the West are dealing with depression, are dealing with the blues, because of the environment within which they live. And when you look at the environment within which you live and you compare it to other people around you, you will have an internal dialogue in your head saying, well, why can I not have that? So if, for example, you are living in a world where many of your friends and contemporaries are also living a subsistence level of life, that would become normalized to you. That wouldn't cause you to feel that depression that many people in the West feel. There are people in the West who are making good money, like serious money, and they're strung out on drugs or something else to try and dampen down those feelings of upset and depression and sadness. Whereas there are people here who literally don't have two pennies to rub together, and they're getting married, they're having babies, they're sending their children to school, they're living a whole life in an environment that in the West would have people literally jumping out of windows if they could. So consider this. I don't believe there's such thing as depression as a thing in and of itself. I don't think it's something, you can't catch depression, you can't touch depression, you can't look in the microscope and see depression. Depression is a symptom. And what it is that we could see something, like, i.e., one man has more money than we do. And with that more money, he's been able to get a nicer car. And he's been able to get on the housing ladder. and he's been able to find the pretty girl from school, the good looking girl from school, to go and be his wife, and he's able to, have children and so on and so forth. While those of us who don't have that will then look, and the question would then be, well, there must be something wrong with me. The problem must be with me. Maybe I don't look as good as he looks, or maybe I'm not as smart as he is, or maybe I'm not as rich as he is, or whatever. And that's where depression is born. That's where it's grown. That's where it's cultivated. So it's this symptom of us looking at something and comparing ourselves to that and deciding that the problem is with us. Another reason is there are many external reasons why we would feel down. So I was looking it up on Facebook. There's this thing called the 7 Natural Doctors. So I want to read those to you, okay? Okay, so the 7 doctors are Dr. Sun, water, air, sleep, exercise, diet, knowing your source. So I'm guessing knowing the source of your foods as well. And energy. It can be very easy to kind of look at these things and just, go past it. But these are vitally important to our health. And the reason why I can say that is because what I've noticed is that while in the West, where we have so much stuff that someone can, be on the evening news because they have a cupboard full of tinned foods. Whereas over here in Africa, people don't have tins. So there's something going on there. There's something going on there. There's something going on there where what people see as a story bad enough that it should hit the news in the UK, it would actually be seen as someone doing very well over in another country. There's something about the environment. And in that environment that you live in, if that first one is sun, and you're finding that for just over half the year you are under clouds, in rain and clouds, then you are missing out on that natural doctor for more than half of the year. If you're finding that your water has been tampered with, or you have chlorine in your water, or you have some people that have water and they can set it on fire because it's so toxic. Air is another important one that's also been destroyed because of the pollutants in the air. You could be out in the country, you're thinking, oh, I'll have a deep lungful of air, and all you're putting down is lots of pollen and aluminium that's been sprayed over the area by chemtrails. Sleep. Being able to sleep is a luxury for many people because we live in an environment where we are always on call all the time. Exercise at least 15 to 30 minutes a day. You know how sedentary life is in the West, where for majority of people, they wake up out of their beds, they get in their car and they sit down. They drive their car to the office and they sit down. And then they go to lunch and they sit down. And they get back in their car and they sit down to get home. So they can sit down, feel like they've had a hard day's work, and they can eat in front of the television. And we have these very sedentary things that are set there as the norm. And in actual fact, it's completely opposite to what is natural. There is normal and there is natural. And normal and natural do not always coincide. Diet is a very good example of that because what is normal for us to eat are things from packets. We take our fish, we take it out of a packet. Or we take our chicken, we take it from a packet. We take our rice, we take it from a packet. We take our you name it, coming out of a packet somewhere down the line. Like natural foods that come out of the ground is not normal for most people. Having things that have been grown organically and have been grown without any GMOs attached to it doesn't happen for many of us. And so we are missing out on all this goodness. You know, if your system has been designed where the air is polluted, the water is polluted, the food is polluted, the sun is non-existent, you are going to feel bad. You're going to feel depressed. It's like just a matter of time. Us feeling depressed is in their best interest. That's what they want because they don't. Because when you are depressed, then you don't have the energy or the time, the headspace to be looking around you and saying, you know, I'm not happy with this level of government. I'm not happy this um, with this tax system, whatever it is. I'm not happy with the way they treat homeless people. It doesn't matter what it is, but as long as they can be left to be able to govern the way they see fit. The way they see fit is that it's in a way that benefits them and doesn't benefit anybody else. And what they need from men is for us to shut up, not say a word, not fight back. And the best way to do that is to push us down mentally. So we have all these different reasons why we could feel down. And I don't want you to feel like as though that means there's something wrong with you. No, there isn't. There's actually nothing. In fact, you are completely in the right place because the system that you're in has been designed for your demise. It's designed to destroy you. And we are, for the vast majority of us, we are born, we're told to get the student loan, so you start working at a deficit. So you've got to play catch up from day one. You're at catch up. You're playing catch up, and with interest rates being put on top of that loan, and then the amount of money you're earning is actually less because of inflation. It's harder and harder to catch up. It's harder and harder to do that. And what most people find is that they never catch up because what you end up doing is taking on more loans to be able to pay off old loans, and you end up having to do all manner of things to be able to get to a point where you feel like, okay, I'm actually doing something correct now. I've actually got a place. I've got somewhere to live. I've got a lady, and I've got a family and so on. And yeah, it could look like as though you're actually getting better, but it's those times when it's those times when it's quiet. It's those times when it's quiet, when no one else is around, and you've just got your own thoughts to keep you company. Those real feelings come back, those real kind of feelings of, I'm not happy. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I wish I could do it again. I wish my dad hadn't done this to me. I wish my mum hadn't done this to me. You know, why was I not given a mentor? Why did I not have a mentor to help me when I was coming up? Here I am, I'm 30, I'm 40, and I haven't got anything to show for all these years in this system. You're not supposed to have anything in the system. What they want is for you to have nothing and be happy. Just you got nothing and you're satisfied with that. That's what they expect from us. So if you are feeling down, my request is you investigate as to why that is. Don't end it and finish it at, I'm feeling down and that's what it is. No. Look and see why. When did it start? What was it that triggered it? Who is it that you're comparing yourself to? Or where is it you think you should be that you're not? You know, whether that's physically, like in your health, or if it's financially, whatever. Figure out where it is that you're dealing with. And then Tap into those natural healers, those 7 healers that we spoke about. Go out in the sun, get some of that vitamin D. Go out and get some of that vitamin C. In your orange juice and so on and so forth. Get some natural foods inside of you. Get some water. And consider that you are actually worth a whole lot to a lot of people. When you are not there, you are missed. You are. I know it doesn't feel like it because, and I know I can't prove it because you are not there to see people miss you. But just as like when you are somewhere and someone hasn't turned up to somewhere where you're going to, and you've noticed that person, trust and believe, when you're not there, people notice you're not there too. So you are needed. So my request is that you look at that and figure out where is this feelings coming from, and then to face them head on. Okay, it's now evening. I'm getting beaten up by these mosquitoes. I've got shorts on, so they're on me. I'm gonna go now. This is your brother Marley. Until next time, you take care of yourself. Peace.